How you doing? This is from Latrice Mose, and I guess through Penny Smith as well. Employee achievement. I request that Jesse Caldwell, Taxpayer Service Representative for the Finance Department, be recognized for completing the requirements to become a certified municipal revenue officer. Jesse came to the city in March of 2013 as a customer service representative in the utility billing office, and in December of 2014 moved to her current position as taxpayer service representative. Since moving over to city revenue, Jesse has completed her Alabama Municipal Revenue Officer certification. It's my first night, believe me. Hang in there. Which is designed to improve the professional, administrative, and fiscal skills of participating municipal revenue officer staff through a series of courses approved by the Municipal Revenue Officers Association. Because of the increasing complexity of municipal revenue administration, this certification program is designed to help municipal revenue office employees to develop their management skills and abilities and obtain more expertise in their profession as they serve their communities. To obtain this certification, Jesse participated in training and was tested on customer service in the Revenue Office, Tax and Licensing Law of Alabama, Taxpayer Rights, Ethics and Tax Administration, Interstate Commerce, Municipal Tax and License Enforcement Procedures, Collection of Delinquent Taxes and Penalties, and Current Taxation Issues. That's quite a lot. All right. For an individual to maintain certified status in the Alabama Municipal Revenue Officers Association, a total of 20 hours must be attended in either of the AMROA sponsored workshops, conference, or certification training session every 2 years. This is a significant accomplishment for which Jessie is to be congratulated. This achievement will enable her to provide a higher level of service for the City of Auburn's taxpayers. Congratulations. Okay, this is an annual recognition for this department. Penny, would you bring your staff up here? Just you? That's fine. Y'all used to it by now, right? The City of Auburn, Alabama was awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2017 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition for excellence in state and local government financial reporting. In order to be awarded a Certificate of Achievement, a government must publish an easily readable and efficiently organized comprehensive annual financial report. This report must satisfy both generally accepted accounting principles and applicable legal requirements. The Government Finance Officers Association established this certificate program in 1945, which is now recognized by financial institutions and rating agencies as the standard for external governmental reporting. This is the 31st year the city has received this designation. The Finance Department, along with auditors and other participating city staff, should be recognized for their dedication and effort into perfecting the document year after year. This continued achievement confirms the City of Auburn's commitment to excellence in financial reporting and accountability to the Republic. Thank you, Penny, for all your hard work. Thank you. Congratulations to all the great employees and staff of the City of Auburn for all your hard work and everything you do to support all of us on a daily basis. Under Mayor's comments tonight, I'd like to, this is our first meeting with the new council. There's a number of things I'd like to share with our community during this time. This will be a little bit longer than normal, so please bear with me. Yesterday we were sworn in and had our first official meeting. At that time, we appointed Beth Whitten to be our Mayor Pro Tem, and congratulations again, Beth. We're very excited to work with you. We also adopted some new council procedures that will go into place at our next meeting 2 weeks from tonight. I encourage all of you to be familiar with those, and it'll be up to us as a city to make sure that we get that out to you as aggressively as possible. At the heart of the matter is we're going to try to make our meetings more efficient, more respectful, but still allow our community all the opportunity they need to speak to what's going on here in the city. But it will be structured a little bit differently. We've thought about this, vetted it amongst ourselves, and we believe we've come up with a good plan to try and to offer to our community moving forward. That doesn't mean that we might have not made the right decision on something, and if we do need to alter this in the future, I can assure you that this council will evaluate our procedures and we'll go back to the drawing board. But we believe we've got a more unique way and a little more efficient way to offer our meetings to you, and we're very excited about that. It will take some getting used to if you've been a long-term participant in our meetings, and we'll certainly be pliable as we enter into a new world of running our city council meetings. As the mayor, there are 4 task forces that I want to initiate immediately to get started. 4 different things that I believe that the city of Auburn needs immediate attention brought to. And what I've done through those 4 different task forces, I've asked 2 council members to oversee and provide leadership for each of those task forces. The first is student housing. It's my belief that this is an area of great concern to me personally and to many people in the community as we went through the campaign season this summer and this fall. It's something we need to fully understand as a community. And I'll be asking the private sector to participate in this. I'll be asking the university to participate in this, as well as city staff, members of the Planning Commission, and certainly the members of the City Council, and Councilman Dawson and Councilman Hovey will take leadership positions in that. And we'll begin work immediately on the Student Housing Task Force. Diversity is a time that has come now in our city. And it's time for us to make sure as a community that we have no holes in our community, that everybody's opportunity is as well, the road is paved for everybody, for all of us. And it's time for us to understand what other people go through and the challenges that might be out in our community as well. I've asked Stephen Dixon and Connie Taylor to oversee that. We'll begin to meet soon and decide what our path will be. But I do hope that sometime in January, early 2019, that there will be a forum that we can come to and listen to one another and decide what action we need to take as a community moving forward. The vacation rental world, that has been much discussed in this arena here. It's time for our city to have a policy that we can live with. We've addressed this as needed over the years when there have been problems, and the time has come, I believe, for the city to have a philosophy and have a policy in place. So we'll be looking at this. We've heard one side of that story. I believe there's another side of the story. And we'll come together and have some public meetings and hear both sides of the story. And then ultimately the council will have to make some determinations as to where we think this city needs to be when it comes to that. I've asked Brett and I've asked Bob to provide leadership for that group as well. And then finally, boards and commissions. It's my belief, and I've talked to Ms. Whitten about this, and I've talked to many of the council, that there are ways that we select our boards and commissions that we just need to evaluate and audit those processes now. There are even some boards and commissions that I believe are elevated to a level that maybe deserve an interview process. But all of that now, it's a fresh time to get a fresh look at how we go about determining the good people who give up of their time to help serve all of us on behalf of this community. So I've asked Beth and Kelly to begin addressing that right here immediately. When people want to be a part of our system here, they want to be a part of the board and commission, it's important that we evaluate and respect that application to the greatest level possible. So we'll look at how we do it, and maybe we'll make some changes, and maybe we'll do it differently. Maybe we'll be satisfied with how we're doing it now, but we will be evaluating that. In the meantime, we'll also have some boards and commission appointments that you'll see here tonight that will come before us in early December. I'm not sure we'll have our plan in place by early December. And in the meantime, I'll ask Beth and Kelly to take those applications and be a conduit for us to evaluate those and provide the information back to the council of those people who are looking forward to serving our city. Okay? So those will be task force. I want to remind our community that this coming Monday, our city will celebrate Veterans Day. we will have a wonderful ceremony right across the street at the Veterans Memorial at 10 o'clock, and I encourage all of you to come and be a part of recognizing those people who have served us at the greatest level. And certainly tonight, I want to recognize Mr. Griswold, who is now a part of our council as a retired Army veteran, and thank you for all your service. On November 18th, there will be the Iron Bowl of Special Olympics flag football at Doug Sanford Stadium, where Auburn and Alabama will be duking it out in a wonderful setting. And I encourage all of you on Sunday afternoon after you get through church to come out there and enjoy that. It's a great event, and our young people need to win. We're playing Alabama, we need to win. Speaking of football, the Tigers are playing Fairhope in the playoffs this Friday night. If you don't have anything to do, go watch the local high school participate in that. Your council has been involved in orientation. Last Monday night, we spent about 4 hours getting to know one another and being introduced to how this city works. It was a great way to kick off the work of these new people here. Tomorrow we'll be spending most of the day having orientation, and what that means is that our department heads are coming before us and explaining what they do on your behalf each and every day. So we all have an appreciation for how this city works and the real depth of what goes on behalf of all of us each and every day. And then we'll meet again next week as well. So we'll have 2.5 days of orientation session that hopefully by then all of us, and even the 3 of us that came back, will even have a greater and deeper understanding of how the city works. Okay, at this time, are there any other council members that have any announcements? Yes.
And just like to remind folks that Alabama Department of Transportation will be putting on holding a public meeting at Farmville Baptist Church on the 15th of November from 5 to 7. And the purpose of that is for them to present a couple of options for traffic control at the intersection of North College and Farmville. So right now they're contemplating some roundabouts. Obviously that's something kind of new to Auburn, but we'll need to listen to what they have to say and go to that meeting with an open mind and see what we can do for the best solution for safety. That specifically affects wards 2 and 3, so we hope the folks will show up and listen to what they have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Gil. Anybody else? Okay, we'll move ahead to Auburn University Communications.
Good evening, Council. I just want to take a moment to introduce myself for those of you who I have not had the chance to meet. My name is Karen Wilkie. I'm a sophomore majoring in accounting and political science, and I serve as the Director of City Relations for Auburn Student Government. So every week at City Council meetings, I just come before you all and just give some announcements on what's going on campus. So this upcoming week, Student Government is hosting Learning to Lobby Day, which gives lobby board members the ability to learn about legislators and lobbyists and their relationships just through various speakers and presentations. During Thanksgiving break week, Auburn Student Government is hosting the Fall Feast, which is an inaugural just Thanksgiving meal for students who are not able to go home and eat with their family, and really just be a time of fellowship for students who don't have someplace to be. On November 29th is ring night at 6:56 p.m. Outside on the seal for students to, excuse me, I think we're saying,
I'm rubbing off on you tonight.
You are, absolutely are. But you know, that's just a citywide event for students to bring their rings to and have them be, yeah. Anyway. Holiday lighting is coming up December 2nd, which is a whole citywide event. We love to have all the city members out there. And I'll be talking about that again in the next couple of weeks, and really just getting that out to the city to be aware and have as many people there as possible. Thank you, guys.
What was the date of the holiday tree lighting?
December 2nd.
Okay, that's a Sunday afternoon?
Yes, sir, at 4 p.m. And we're going to try to market that throughout downtown area and have some flyers to pass out to city.
Good. Thank you.
Thank
you
you
for all
so
your
much.
good work.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Caroline. Before we move on, I wanted to recognize Leadership Lee County's got a group of people here tonight. It's part of their schooling, so thank y'all. We're glad to have you. Thank you for coming. At this time, we'll move into citizens communications. As we get started with that, I wanted to remind the people from the Riverwood, Mooresville neighborhood that there will not be a public hearing with your agenda item tonight. So if you'd like to speak to the council, this would be the time to do that. If you'd like to participate in citizen communications, please come forward and give your name and address for the record. And remember, you have 5 minutes.
Hi, my name is Patrick Green. I live at 2274 Riverwood Drive, so we are here tonight. Many of you may remember that I was here at the last city council meeting and I spoke about my concerns with the development that was being proposed, which you're voting on the rezoning of the land. And since that meeting, we have received the preliminary plat information. It includes 62 different plats for homes, and it does not include a connection to the Mooresville Riverwood subdivision. So we were excited about that at first until we met with the city and found that they are going to push that there be a connection made there. And so, again, I would like to express my deep concern for the safety of our citizens. We do not have sidewalks in our neighborhood. We have to double park, particularly in Riverwood, exactly where the connection would be made. We have short driveways. There's not room for everyone to park inside of their driveways. They have to go on the road. If we were to put sidewalks in, more people would be out parked on the road. It would shorten the distance of our driveways. So I just want to urge you, I know we're not talking about a connection tonight, but rather rezoning. I'd like to encourage you all with your influence to please speak on, again, to go down and take a look at our area. When I drove in here from my neighborhood, there were 4 cars parked out on Riverwood, and there was a person out walking at night. So I thank you very much for your time, and I will see you my time.
Good evening. My name is Amy Green. I live at 2274 Riverwood Drive. Thanks in advance for listening. My husband and I moved back to Alabama after living in New York, for almost 6 years in Manhattan, right off of Broadway. We sought a permanent home for our family to raise our children. We have a young child, and we invested in a neighborhood, and we did due diligence. Excuse me. I am not really comfortable being up here, but I feel like I owe it to my community. We did due diligence before purchasing our home and making a very large investment in the Auburn community for a safe neighborhood for our children. I have to drive extremely carefully and extremely slowly down our street as it is because of how narrow it is, how it goes down a hill, it curves, there are cars out everywhere, the visibility is terrible. I don't understand how anyone who's ever seen our street could possibly think that the benefits of connectivity outweigh the risks to our children in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is already overwhelmed. It's been long established. None of us expected this. I just appeal to you. I know I don't expect you to be emotionally involved, but please just logic and risk. Please take a look at this street. I don't want it to be another Broadway. That is not why we moved to Alabama. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is David Erickson. I live at 2302 Riverwood Drive. This is obviously a serious and emotional topic for us tonight. I'm going to read a prepared statement, so I'm concise. Thank you for allowing me the time to share my concerns about the U57 club development. I realize that tonight's second reading on the rezoning request is specifically all that's being voted on. Rezoning of 9.9 acres of rural land to the DDH classification. That being said, the specifics contained in the full development plans are the much larger issue, and this is our first and only opportunity to share our concerns with our elected city council members prior to the planning commission meeting and vote on a really large concern of ours. After your vote tonight, I understand that you won't have any other further input on the matter, so that's the point of being here tonight. What happens after this vote we understand, is a development of more than 60 new homes, much larger than the 9.9 acres. And this development does not require any further rezoning requests, so it won't come back before this council. Furthermore, as was mentioned, a stipulation to approve this development, the city planners are requiring these homes to be connected to Moore's Mill neighborhood via Riverwood Drive, and also connected to Bent Creek via Champions Boulevard. This connection requirement is being made even though it's not how the current right-of-ways are platted. It does not match the city's master street plan. It's not requested by the developer, and it's not wanted by a very large majority of affected Moore's Mill residents, not just on Riverwood, but throughout the neighborhood. It's our position that Riverwood Drive is clearly not built to accommodate a significant increase in traffic flow that we believe will result from this connection. The city has provided neither information on increased traffic counts nor vehicle or pedestrian safety impacts. In fact, we've been told by city officials that no formal traffic impact study has been performed at all, and there are no plans to do so prior to making the connection a requirement for the plat approval. This is extremely concerning, but even more troublesome is the fact that we feel our concerns are falling on deaf ears. We've expressed these concerns to city officials and the planning commission members at every opportunity that's been provided to us, as well as setting up a special meeting by the neighborhood and the city officials. We've yet to receive any information that addresses or alleviates any of these safety concerns. Finally, while the planning commission has not officially heard this case on preliminary plat approval, they'll do that on Thursday. It was obvious comments made by some of their members at Monday's packet meeting indicated that they've already made up their minds in favor of the city's recommendation. It was as clear as can be. And that was prior to hearing any citizen input, obviously. So, very concerned, appreciate your time and giving me the opportunity to speak.
Good evening. My name's James Harden. I live at 860 Mooresville Drive. So I'm actually in the front of the neighborhood. Most of these folks that are here are back in the neighborhood that will be more impacted than probably I will. But we actually did do a traffic study back in around 2008 or 2009 when I first moved to the neighborhood, and we had smaller children because of the speed that people fly through the neighborhood. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mooresville Drive. It's about a mile long. About a third of that has a large canopy of trees that has very poor visibility. In that area, there are several areas that have blind curves. My lot actually sits on a blind curve, as well as there's several blind hills throughout that neighborhood. The concern was when I asked for a traffic study, and Gene Dulaney at the time lives in the neighborhood near me. He actually, I think, helped me get one together. From that traffic study, what they showed was that the average speed ran anywhere from 32 to 35 miles an hour through that traffic study. This is a residential area. If you have very poor visibility, you have an average speed almost 35 miles an hour. When you take into consideration that the speed limit in this neighborhood is greater than most of your other neighborhoods, we have a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, which is the same as on University Drive. So people can legally go the same speed in our neighborhood as they can on University with very poor visibility. There are no sidewalks. There's no walking lanes. There's no bike lanes. There are no speed reduction devices in place. So basically, as a resident of the neighborhood, it's a fantastic neighborhood. But we all are basically on faith when you get on the street and walk your dog or walk your children. You take it on faith on which side of the road to walk on. And you know you need to, when you see the corner and you can't see the road ahead, you need to change lanes so you don't get hit by anybody. There is also the issue of people parking on the street when you have visitors. It doesn't affect us quite as much on the front end of the neighborhood, but I know Riverwood is much more greatly affected because of the size of their lots and the size of the streets. With that being said, At the time, probably 10 years ago, when that traffic study was done, really nothing was put in place. But at that time, there was not a decision to put a development in the back of the neighborhood. So with 60 some odd houses, you have two-car families, you're adding probably 100 and some odd vehicles traveling down this road every day. We already have an issue with speed. Matter of fact, someone might have killed a deer in the neighborhood with a car earlier, probably last week. Really no reason why anybody should drive that fast in a neighborhood. So the concerns of us who do live on the street would be that there hasn't really, we haven't seen that there has been a sufficient look at what should we change on this traffic flow. If we're going to add this many houses back there, what will we do to impact some change? Right now, again, we're kind of on our honor system. Adding that many houses and that many more vehicles on the roads, I don't know that anybody's looked at that impact. So we greatly encourage, you guys know this is a rezoning vote, but if you can speak with the planning commission and see, is there a plan? Have they looked at how this is going to impact the traffic? Again, not going to impact me probably quite as much as the people in the back of the neighborhood, but it's going to impact all of us. And there are a lot of kids. There's probably 20 bus stops in that neighborhood. I think there's 5 different buses that have stops in our neighborhood. Every morning, every afternoon. So, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you, Mayor and Council. Samantha Jane, I live at 702 Highland Road in the Morris Mill subdivision. Earlier today, I went to the planning department and spoke with Mr. J. Howell and looked over plat maps and asked a good deal of questions. And then I called him later on the phone. He was very helpful and very courteous, and I'm greatly appreciative of his time so I could have a better understanding of what was going on. My husband's a pilot, and I have a son that is just finished at Auburn in their pilot program. So the previous residents had mentioned the things about the connector and the traffic and the no sidewalk. And looking at the proposed subdivision map, I do have a concern with those lot sizes in relation to the lot sizes, say for instance, of my home and the homes that are on Highland Road and the Moores Mill Drive. Mr. J. Howell, he explained the purpose of the connector, and I do understand that. I worked for an engineering firm in California and had experience with responding to proposals for planning and engineering. So I'm a little familiar with some of those purposes, and I do understand the city's position with that. But the concern of having all that traffic in our neighborhood, it will change the character of our neighborhood. And we have walkers and runners and kids and the bus stops, as you mentioned. But something that hasn't been mentioned, and the reason I bring this up is because my family, my husband being a pilot, and my son having utilized the